You stop at the smallest, cutest puppy you've ever seen. Scampers up to you, blocking your path. What the fuck? Hello everybody, KyleTheGreat here, with a continuation on the game Do Not Take This Cat Home. This will be a continuation of the first episode, which I will be linking below if you have not seen it yet. The game will be down there as well, but other than that, like, subscribe, and let's get into this. I expect this to be a pretty long episode. You're walking. Right, of course. It's the first time in a while you felt like going out. Is this gonna be the same thing? And you're... No, I can't skip. The weather is absolutely perfect today. What? That's a good sign, right? Maybe your luck is finally starting to turn around. You tentatively allow yourself to feel excited for the possibilities of where you could go or what you could do. Maybe even who you can meet. You're so deep in thought that you almost missed it. Huh? What was that? Curiosity guiding your steps, you follow the sound to the entrance of a lonely alleyway. The sunlight only just manages to reach down in between the tall buildings on either side. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward. The loose gravel and scattered debris on the ground softens your steps. Finally, the sound source comes into view in a warm, almost ethereal light of the alley. At the end of the alley, a big cardboard box. Is a cat. Huh, guess that should have been obvious. It's an interesting looking cat. Its pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of its black fur. It puts its front paws. I think this is some deja vu. It puts its front paws up on the edge of the box and looks up at you. You look so familiar, right? Then again, it is a cat. Not many different ways for a standard black cat to look after all. Could have longer fur. This one sure is a cutie though. Just look. It's not glaring at you or hissing at you for getting this close like other stray cats have in the past. It's just sitting there patiently, waiting for you to do something. Nah. I learned my lesson. No. Sadly, as cute as the cat is, you never take this thing home with you. You can't take it home with you. You're a responsible adult. You are with rent and bills to pay for, not to mention your need to buy food to survive too. There's no way you could care for a cat long term, right? You could barely afford a little outing on the day of your day off. What to do? Ah, leave cat. Ooh, you're not ready. See ya. I'm not doing that joke again. You don't think it's a good idea to get the cat's hopes up and having someone look after it if you're not willing to commit. What if it gets attached and somehow tracks you down back to your home? I didn't read that. Sorry, see you around I guess. I hope not. You stand up, the cat watching your every move. You make it halfway out of the alley when the cat meows almost pitifully at you. Ignore! Nope. You need to nip this in the bud and get on with your day. It's what's best for the both of you. You leave the alley and continue on your way. Wait, what was I doing? In all the excitement of dealing with your furry dilemma, you've forgotten that you still haven't decided on what you were going to do for your day off. I don't know if this matters. Nah, we're going to a dog park. You decide to take a stroll in a park or something. The only one within walking distance is the nearby dog park. You think it'll make you feel better. First, you get to see a cute cat today. Now you get to see a cute dog. Several of them, in fact. The park is bustling with owners and their canine companions. Playing frisbee, fetch, running, jumping, even napping. Whatever. Like you want anything to do with these Maggie mutts. What's wrong? You didn't think that. You decided to move. The dogs are also adorable. You want to pet every single one you come across. But you know not all owners are cool with strangers just walking up and manhandling their pets. Not all dogs appreciate it either. So you stroll around the path. This is loud. So you stroll around the path, trying to exude a welcoming aura that will beckon one of these cute doggies to you. You don't have to wait long. Oh, look at the guy. Look at the bloke. You stop at the smallest, cutest puppy you've ever seen. Scampers up to you, blocking your path. What the fuck? I shouldn't laugh at that. Why would I do half these things? What? Eat the puppy, kick the puppy. What? Pick it up. You picked up the puppy. Drop it. I didn't like that timer. I really did not like that timer in the corner. Holy shit. Oh, God. Oh no, my heart. I should have had my watch on. Check my heart rate. I didn't like that. Ah! Terrified, you drop the puppy to the ground, practically throwing it from you. You immediately feel horrible, wincing in guilt at the tiny yelp it releases upon hitting the ground. The owner shoves you aside with a cutting glare and storms away with their puppy. I'm sorry. At least I didn't eat it. You call out, but they don't turn back or respond. Not that you expected them to. You deserved it. You're not feeling so great about being at the park at the moment. Maybe you should leave. We're staying. You stay at the park. Thanks. I think I read my decision the first time. You try to calm down by watching all the dogs from afar as you walk along the path. But every so often, one will run up to you. They're demons, too. And when they do, they look wrong. Their owners don't seem to notice. You find a bench and sit down for a quick break, closing your eyes. Maybe this wasn't the best idea after all. Maybe. I see eyes. You should have stayed with me instead. At least I didn't eat the puppy. You're broken out of your thoughts when something lands gently on your lap. You look down and see a frisbee on your thighs. Hey, sorry about that. Can you throw it back? You look up and see an owner waving at you in the distance. But more importantly... Uh-oh. I'm dead. Oh, it's a German Shepherd. A series of excited barks jerks your gaze forward, and you see a large dog sprinting towards you. I like that one. Oh, God. Will this just continue forever? I might, yeah. A series of exciting dog barks. I can't look at that while I'm reading. Your gaze forward, and you see a large dog sprinting towards you. Hey, hurry and throw it back. Oh, throw it. You throw the frisbee, and the dog runs in the opposite direction. I think there was a timer up there. Jumping and catching it right out of the air. Impressive. The dog and its owner walk up to you. Thanks for that. You can pet him if you want. No. Aww. The dog looks up at you, eager for its reward, for pets and pats, for catching the frisbee. Should I... This game is demonic, dude.
I love it.
I'll pet. Really? Are you sure? Yes, this little pat. I'm warning you. Do not touch that mutt, or you will regret it. Pets the dog. Oh my god. I really should have worn my heart rate monitor for this. You reach out your... I'm gonna get bit, right? That's not really where you pet a dog, but sure. And pet the dog. The dog seems pleased. You don't feel well. Suddenly, the sky begins to darken rapidly. You look up along with all the pet owners and see the sun has been eclipsed by the moon in the blink of an eye. You vaguely remember you should never look directly at an eclipse, but for some reason, you don't look away. Huh. A loud piercing yowl fills the air, shaking the ground beneath you. You instinctively move to lift your hands in order to shield your ears, but the hand that has been cautiously pressed upon the dog's head comes away with some resistance. Resistance, like sticky slime almost cementing your hand to the dog's head. The slime stretches with your movement. The dog's head stretches with it too, as the canine begins to just melt. It melts. And melts. Until it becomes a pile of goo at your feet. You dazedly look around for the dog's owner, only to find an empty pile of familiar clothes where they once stood. You see similar piles of clothes next to the piles of goo scattered all across the park's open field. All the dogs, all their owners. The melted goo of the dog in front of you then starts to move with a shudder. Maybe you shouldn't have touched the dog. It slithers across the grass towards the field in the center of the park, all the other piles of goo following after it. They mix and meld together into a single entity that shifts and undulates and bulges and grows. You watch in dazed horror as it then fills and shapes itself. It's the behemoth of a dog, snarling and frothing at the mouth, red eyes frantic and searching. Maybe I'll hide behind a tree, I don't know, before the glowing orbs land directly on you. The rumbling growl it emits is so low and deep, you can feel the sound of it crash into you. No, I'm not leaving the park.
Eventually.
Fine. I'll leave. Fine, you convinced me, doggo. I'm out of here. No. You had your chance. Better start running. You try to run, but you step on a knife. Uh-oh. But you're not fast enough. The behemoth barely takes a few leaps before it's already towering over you. See, I was dead after the first one. You can stop. Oh, yeah, 3 strikes, I'm out. I get it. Do it again, I dare ya. It tears you apart until there's nothing left. 21. Dog person. Okay. What happens if I just leave the park? I think I'm just going to explore this dog ending a bit more and then call it there. I'll leave. A wise decision. Ah. Okay. Okay. Back to the dog park. I know this isn't real now. We're gonna... I can't do it. We're just gonna... If I pick him up and just drop him immediately... Hold on. You just barely managed to rein in the reflexes to throw the puppy as far away from you as possible. With shaking hands, you quickly place the puppy on the grass and take several jerky steps back. The owner seems confused by your reaction to their puppy, but you just wave at them in a daze before hastily stumbling away. Okay, maybe I should leave the park. No, we're staying. Is this... Yeah, this is the same as before. Okay, whatever. Okay, there's only one thing I really can do now. I don't want to do any of these things. Look away, dog lovers, you're not gonna like this. That's disgusting. I think I'm gonna be sick. There's no way I would ever do that. Oh, well, I can't eat it. No, that's horrible. There's no way I could ever do that. What? It's just a puppy. There's no way I could ever do that. Okay, so this seems to be the dog path. Okay. Well, let's go a little more. This is... Oh, yes, leave... I didn't read that. Let's go to the carnival now. Let's just go all these endings here. Spend a day at the carnival. Ferris wheels, roller coasters, Pharaoh boat. Rides you've been on before. Hoops, coin toss, balloon darts. Games you've played before. Funnel cake, popcorn, cotton candy. Food you've eaten before. All things you've enjoyed before. You're surrounded by groups of people all having fun together. Laughing, playing, eating, taking pictures, making memories. And then there's you. The sun hasn't started to set yet. Still high in the sky, but it will soon. You start to wonder if maybe you should just go home for the day. When you stop in your tracks, you see something new. An attraction you've never seen before. A maze of funhouse mirrors. It sounds kind of lame, honestly. There isn't even a line to get in. But then, what else is there to do? You enter the maze. A few rooms in, you notice that the mirrors aren't all weird. Some just show you you're looking back at yourself. A little bored, a lot tired, and so very... Maybe this was a mistake. Why do you think going into a maze of mirrors was a good idea? Even if it was something new to experience? I can't do this today. You turn around and head back the way you came. Only to bump into a mirror. Ow, what the? Where's the exit? You try again, only to find another mirror blocking your way. By the time you're all turned around, you realize that the way you came in is completely gone. Okay, don't panic. I just have to keep going forward, right? You step through the only opening you can find and nearly trip over something on the ground. You bend back to pick it up. What's this doing here? Is that a knife? In your hand rests a worn-looking flashlight. Curious, you flick it on. It works. The light... Crap, the light's out. Did the power go out, or did the attraction operator forget you were in there? How long have you been in here, actually? You pull out your phone and check the time, or maybe call the police. It's dead. Your phone is dead. You grip the flashlight in your hand. The light it emitted earlier was dim enough for you to know there's probably not that much juice left. Best to reserve it for a worst-case scenario and feel your way out. Yeah. You can do this. You take a calming breath. Well, forward we go. Hello, daring adventurer. Welcome to the Mirror Maze. Would you like to know how to navigate the maze? Yes, I need help. It's always good to ask for help. Once again, welcome to the Mirror Maze. You're in a bit of a jam, but don't worry, you're in good hands. Or rather, good paw. See these little cuties here? They're all doing their best to guide you through the maze. Too bad they're all going in different fucking doors. Aren't they generous? When you enter a room, the emergency light will flash, letting you see the paths before you for a second. And also what lies beyond them. Whenever you see these kind kitties, just go where they are and you'll reach the next room. Unfortunately, they're not the only thing in here. It's highly suggested that you refrain from following any of our other guests. They can be sneaky or distracting, but they're always hostile. So please take caution when advancing to the next room. Of course, this wouldn't be much of a mirror maze without mirrors. Can they hurt you? No, they're just mirrors, silly. They don't do anything at all. And you can't do anything to them either. They're just an obstacle you can't pass through. Go left. Go center. Go right. The choice is yours. Though, if you find a room with no helpful kitties in sight, and all the paths lead to mirrors or something else, it's recommended you stay put, and just maybe it will work itself out. Now for your navigation tools. The flashlight you found doesn't have much juice left. It only let you have a quick peek at your surroundings about 5 times, so try not to use it up all at once. You can keep track of your progress with the rooms up to the left and your lives to the right. You've got 3 lives, so be careful to avoid the less friendly guests lurking around. Why only 3 lives, you ask? Because you're soft and squishy. It wouldn't take much to damage you beyond repair. Okay. And besides, you're human, and humans only have 1 life. Yes? And yet, here, you get 3. Don't you think you ought to show a little more gratitude? And that's the end of the tutorial. Hopefully it was helpful. It was. Are you ready to play? I'm ready. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Right. Okay, next room. Right. Next room. Left. Stay. The room feels off. Just wait. I think something changed. Oh, not that way.
A few moments later.
Left. Stay. You see it. The exit. You run forward, but as you do, the scenery shifts. Just slightly at first. But you're running too fast to stop yourself from colliding into the glass. Except, you don't quite go into the glass. You don't exactly collide with it either. You simply pass through it. On the other side, you see an endless white void and... The fuck? Yourself. Dozens of you. Hundreds of you wandering around. Aimless. Faceless. And empty. So empty and listless, they don't even acknowledge your presence. You try to turn back, but the glass doesn't give. Past the glass... Oh, it's this bitch. A familiar black cat walks up and looks at you. You think it meows at you, but you can't make out the sound. It tilts its head, then walks away. The glass goes dark. Then you watch helplessly as it disappears completely. You're trapped, with only yourself as company. Eventually we'll be circle jerking. We're good pals. I know myself well. You beat the maze. Okay, let's see if I don't beat the maze. It's too easy. Is that so? There. All done. Wait, what do you do? You'll see. Can you let me go? Your request to forfeit is denied. Let me out of here. Screaming is not allowed in the maze. Okay. Let's see what I did to myself. Oh shit, I have a time. That's not bad.
Eventually.
Center. Stay. Right. That scares me. Center. Right. Stay. Psh, easy. Suck my nuts. Is it the same thing? Yeah, it's the same thing. I just made it harder for no reason. I'm gonna intentionally lose now. I want to see what happens to me. Suddenly, the lights turn on. Your eyes burn from the sudden brightness. As your vision adjusts, you see that you're completely surrounded by mirrors. The reflections, all grotesque in unique ways. It is nothing like you, but they do look hungry. I was gonna say that. You back up. You don't know where to go. Is there even a way out to begin with? You bump back into a mirror. Feel a sharp hand firmly grasp your shoulder. Chomp! There's a sharp pain in your other shoulder. Oh. You rip away, looking back to see something leading out of the mirror. Its face has no features, save for a large gaping mouth stained in your blood. Looking around in panic, you think that the mirrors feel closer than before. The path you'd come in is long gone. You're surrounded, and every time you blink, you can swear the mirrors were getting closer, and closer, and closer. Your horrifying reflection looks hungrier, and hungrier, and hungry. You failed the maze. Okay, there's one more path to take. This is a long recording. Movie. It's been a while since a film came out that looked interesting enough for you to drag yourself to a movie theater. But there's a showing of one such film at the old theater. The movie was a little too niche to be picked up by the new cinema that opened right across the street. That's okay though. You're not exactly a fan of the crowds. And nothing ruins the experience of watching a new movie for you more than a noisy audience. Old cinema, of course. You eagerly buy a ticket from the kind old man in the booth and head inside. It's barren, and any trace of other people in the decor looks like it hasn't changed since the 80s. Maybe even the 70s. But it's what you were counting on. You considered buying some popcorn, but can't help but be concerned that everything at the concession stand might be expired. Made in the 80s, maybe 70s. You move on and walk through the halls, finally locating the theater designated on your ticket stub. As expected, the theater your movie will be playing in is completely empty. Perfect. You pick a spot right in the middle, even counting the seats and taking into consideration the gap of the staircase. As you settle in, the dim light fades away, leaving the room pitch black for a few seconds. Before the screen flickers on, no commercials or trailers pop up. The movie just begins. Pleased, you shrug and let yourself get immersed in the opening scene. But just as you're getting to the premise, the door behind you, momentarily casting light into the room and ruining the atmosphere, you hold in a frustrated sigh. It's a public establishment after all. The place can't exactly afford to stay open if you're the only customer. You try to refocus on the movie, but you sense the new presence slowly shifting around the theater before heading in your general direction. It's that little cat, isn't it? What? Oh, this bastard. You gape in utter disbelief as a stranger shuffles down the aisle, only to sit right in front of you. I want to take your hat off. There's no one else here and plenty of places to sit. The stranger is also unusually tall, even with the stadium-like arrangement of the seats being on a somewhat steep incline. They're completely blocking your view. You don't want to risk escalating the situation further. The whole thing is already making you uneasy. Oh, I did not read that. Thank you, back button. Why would they choose to sit right in front of you? Surely they know you wouldn't be able to see past them. Shaking your head with a passive-aggressive scoff in the stranger's direction, you reluctantly pick another, less perfect seat in the theater. But as you settle down, you see the strange person get up, only to once again sit down in the seat directly in front of you. You look around somewhat hopelessly, as if waiting for someone to silently agree with you about how odd all of this is, or at least inform you that it's all an elaborate prank. But there's no one else here with you. That's how you always liked it, but you can't help but think that maybe it would be nice to have someone else here if it meant not being alone with this weird jerk. I'm just keep moving. I'm gonna miss the whole damn movie. And again, they sit right in front of you. You bristle, annoyed and a little humiliated. Are they just getting a kick out of this or something? You wasted enough time with this jerk that you don't even know what's going on in the movie anymore. I gotta confront him, but you hate confrontation. You can always feel your palms starting to sweat at the idea of it. Your throat's closing up and your body's starting to shake. You've always been more of a flighter than a fighter, but you paid for this ticket. You've wanted to watch this movie for ages, and now this total stranger is about to get punted straight through the movie theater screen. It should say that. You're all alone in this theater. There's no one who will help you if something goes wrong. But you're angry enough that you ignore the signs of your body begging you to put as much distance as you can between yourself and this stranger. You stand up. Even standing in higher up on the incline, the stranger is still at least a head taller than you. The movie continues to play in the background, but you feel as if a hush immediately falls heavily over the theater, as if you can sense the stranger anticipating what you plan to do next. You square your shoulders and force a little bass into your voice. Hey! The effort makes your words come out more harshly than you intended, like a sudden and vicious bark, but you figured they deserved it anyway. You're being a real jerk. You know that. Just what are you playing at, huh? Are you trying to piss me off? The silence that follows your words is deafening. So much so that you glance at your screen only to find the movie has paused. Your attention is ripped back to the stranger in front of you as they shift slightly, like a small animal trying desperately to anticipate the moves of a predator. You don't move an inch. You don't look away. You don't dare to blink. Instead, your eyes widen as the person's head turns, then turns some more. They can't even watch the movie, they're blind! Sorry. Then turns more, beyond what should be possible, neck bones cracking, to face you directly. You can't move. Wide glowing eyes resting above a wider grinning mouth gaze down at you. The stranger opens their mouth, and what comes out is something impossible to comprehend. The voice is endlessly deep and creaks like a weighty door, foreboding and oddly melodic, alluring. But it also snaps you out of your terrified trance, and before you know it, you're already out the door. You run through the halls of the empty theater, heading for the exit. You feel something watching you from behind, but you're too afraid to look. The exit now in sight, you sprint towards and burst through the doors, and look around frantically, and spot the crowded cinema across the street. People, that's what you need. Safety in numbers and all that. Without thinking, you rush into the street, when a sinking sensation crawls down your spine, compelling you to look behind you. Refusing to even risk a peek over your shoulder, you rush across the street into the new cinema theater. You didn't realize that it felt like you've been surrounded by some kind of dreadful pressure, until it very suddenly vanished, leaving you feeling more than a little shaken. But at least breathing comes easier. You think it's within your best interest to repress everything that just happened. Yeah, deciding to wait for the movie you've been anticipating to be available on DVD or streaming. You join the long line outside the new cinema. By the time you reach the ticket booth, okay, I'm looking over my shoulder. Despite your resistance, you feel your head turning to look back on it of its own accord. While in the middle of the street, you catch a glimpse of a grotesque-looking person standing behind the glass doors of the old theater, watching you intensely, cradling something in their arms. Something familiar, but... Did I get hit by a bus? A truck. I was close. A glimpse is all you get, as a truck speeds forward and crashes into your body. You're killed on impact. Your body splattered across the road and crushed further under the heavy tires. Poor screening arrangement. I'm just assuming. You don't know why, but you don't feel great about the idea of being alone right now. Yeah, okay, and this is where it was. You join the long line outside the new cinema. By the time you reach the ticket booth, you just want to get inside. So you pick a movie at random and take your ticket from the tired-looking teenager manning the booth. The decor is chic and sleek, and the inside is bustling with people. It's not what you're usually into, but it's kind of nice not being alone. Even if you feel a little lonely watching families and groups of friends laughing amongst themselves. You get some popcorn, but the lines at the concession stands are long, and the prices are criminal anyway, as they are. You go through the halls and follow the signs to the theater designated on your ticket before heading inside. You sigh at the sight of an absolutely crowded theater. You head towards a seat only to be told by the person next to it that it's being saved for someone. This happens a few more times before you finally manage to get yourself settled into a seat, annoyingly off-center to the screen. But the screen is at least visible, if not a little close, so you grit your teeth and bear it. The light fades out, but the chatter doesn't. The rest of the audience seems content to talk through the commercials, and even through the trailers. You figure the chatter will stop when the movie actually begins, but it doesn't get even slightly quieter as the opening scene starts to play. You sigh out loudly, not thinking anyone would hear you anyway. This is why you avoid movie theaters like the plague. Suddenly, the screen changes, showing a face of a black cat. A familiar black cat. Confused murmurs fill the room, but then the cat on the screen meows. The sound is strange, and not at all like any cat should sound. Haunting, almost melodic, and layered as if made of multiple voices of different creatures. Creatures that would probably never say. You sit in confusion, wondering why you haven't already gotten up and left to complain to the cinema staff. But then you hear it. It's scattered and dissonant at first, but among the crowd, people start to chant along with the cat on the screen. It's even better when they do it. So they're fans! Soon the entire room is chanting in perfect unison. Everyone's staring intently at the cat on the screen. You're feeling strangely drawn to the screen yourself, but the compulsion to stare blankly like the others isn't that strong. For now. Also, you start to notice out of the corner of your eye that some of the people in your immediate vicinity are looking at you. No. They're outright staring holes into you, even as they continue chanting. They don't miss a beat as they slowly begin to frown at you in blatant disapproval. This guy's pissed. Their scowls deepen as time goes on, as if they're getting impatient. Nah, I'm outie. This is too weird. I need to get out of here. Gathering your courage, or perhaps putting your fear to use, You stand up, fully intending to leave the theater, when everything comes to an abrupt stop. All the chanting stops, even the cats chanting on the screen. You tense and risk a glance around the theater. They're all staring at you. Every single one of them. They're not moving. They're not even blinking. You swallow. Your throat suddenly dry even though a nervous sweat completely soaks through your clothes. You highly doubt that sitting back down will fix the situation. Your legs are shaking under the audience's unnatural, intense scrutiny. But you force yourself to step forward and forward and forward until you finally reach the end of the aisle. You feel their collective gaze, even worse, on the staircase. All their heads have turned uncomfortably to the left to look directly at you. The screen illuminates their faces, making clear their blank scowls. They seem even more upset than they had been minutes ago. Identical frown lines digging between their brows. You keep going, the heavy atmosphere becoming more and more oppressive with every step. You're so tense with anticipation that you fully expect someone to grab you from behind. But no one does. You don't hear any of them even get up. You exit the theater holding your breath as the door behind you closes. You briskly walk through the halls, putting as much distance as possible between you and that theater full of people. Finally reaching the lobby, you just barely manage to catch yourself from falling onto the floor as you gulp in huge gasps of air. You expect to feel relief as your breathing calms, but you feel a lingering sense of dread that only spikes once you finally notice it, as well as its source. You look up, and your stomach sinks. Oh shit. All the people in the lobby area of the movie theater, everyone in line at the concession stand, all of them are staring at you, and they look even angrier than the people in the theater. You don't hesitate this time. You duck your head, avoiding eye contact, and leave the cinema. You ignore the glares of everyone in the ticket booths and the lines leading to them. You make your way home. Whenever you dare to look up at someone on the way, you flinch at the blatant anger, fury, and disgust on their face. You think you start to hear the faint sounds of a cat's meowing behind you, or maybe a kitten's. Doesn't matter, you just want to go home. You reach the front door and fumble with the keys, cowering from the look of pure hatred on the neighbors' faces as he stares at you from his door. Finally, you get inside your apartment, lock all the locks on the door, and slide down with your back against it till you're sitting on the floor. You allow yourself a moment to breathe. Now home, your heartbeat calms, and your fear slowly bleeds from you, leaving you feeling strangely empty. You pass the kitchen, head to the room, and slip under the covers of your bed trying to fall asleep. It's all just a bad dream. As you fall into a fitful sleep, sure to be full of nightmares of glaring eyes, you try to ignore the ever-increasing sound of cat meowing and yowling in the distance outside your apartment. Black sheep. Okay, one more ending we're getting. Thinking fast, you look at the screen and begin to chant in tandem with the crowd. I'm not fucking doing that. I'm drawing the line. You feel the harshness of their collective gaze start to ebb away the air of the theater becoming lighter once again. You release air shakily, just realizing that you've been holding your breath earlier. Surely you can't just up and leave now, not after whatever all that was. The people around you all seem fine now, but there's no telling if they get aggressive at you for even moving so much. Never mind outright getting up and leaving. You decide to let this run its course. Hopefully someone will come along, right? Or at least turn the film off. You continue to chant along with everyone. You start to feel lightheaded. You feel as if you could fall asleep, but your eyes don't feel heavy in the slightest. You try to look around and gauge the others' emotional states, but you can't seem to look away from the screen. You try again, but you're still locked into eye contact with the cat on screen. You attempt to physically force your line of vision away. You steel your nerves, ready to throw yourself to the ground if you need to, but your body only gets as far as tensing up for a moment before completely loosening itself again, making you lay back limply in your seat. You think you should be panicking right now, but even your brain feels limp, like mine does after an hour and a half of recording. Your thoughts a vaguely muted pastel pink, airy, sickeningly sweet, and loosely spun like cotton candy. You like cotton candy. I don't, it's too sugary. You think you shouldn't mind your thoughts and body being like cotton candy either. So, why get up and ruin that? It's nice here. You're more at peace than you've ever felt before in such a crowded room. Still chanting, you've never felt so aligned and in tune with another person, let alone with an entire room of complete strangers. You're not alone. Out of the corner of your eye, the person next to you starts to sink back even further into their chair. Then they sink more. Uh-oh, then more. Not like the slouching or reclining, but more like they're not breathing. Oh, fuck. Oh, that got me. Deflating. Their skin bunches up and wrinkles like fabric, as if their muscles, their bones, have started to disintegrate. Me thinking that was going to be a good ending. Their eyes dim before sinking into their sockets. Their mouth, still attempting to chant, falls open over a cut-off nya. You got it. Happy? Gapping as the word ends with an awful hiss. A final, weak release of air. You muse thoughtfully about whether or not you should be distressed at the sight. But even then, the blanket of peace doesn't leave you. Suddenly, the pile of skin and clothes next to you, you see a lump moving around. You watch in dazed fascination as the lump makes its way to the part of the skin where the head used to be, and out from the mouth crawls a tiny black kitten. That's disturbing. Am I dying too? You can hear the familiar hissing sound all around you now, as the unified chants start to fade, only to be replaced with the faint mewling of kittens. Finally, your voice is the only one chanting, still human, and alone. Again, you don't want that. You can't go back to that. Not again. Not again. Please. Just then, you go completely limp. Your body feels light, as it might as well weigh several tons, because you realize quite suddenly that you can't move, not an inch. You can't shift your eyes to look around. You can't even breathe, but somehow, the chant continues to creak weakly from your mouth. A few kittens come forward and perch themselves on the chairs around you, watching your sinking body, mewling as they're waiting for their youngest sibling to emerge. From you, dozens of glowing eyes peer down at you. And as your eyes start to cave into the sockets of your softening skull, you manage to make out the silhouette of a familiar cat perching on the seat right in front of you. You're blocking the view! Your vision finally fades. And as the same hiss of air expels itself from your mouth, the last thing you sense is something small and alive shifting eagerly under your skin. Happy birthday! Not quite. My birthday... I'm recording this September 2nd. You're probably not seeing this till October, so my birthday has passed. No, with that, no, I'm done. I don't think... Yeah, no, I'm done. But with that, I guess, here is where I'm gonna end. Damn. The video! So if you liked the video, why not consider leaving a like? And if you're new, subscribe if you want to subscribe. So that was actually kind of fun, and I hope you thought so as well. I do not know when I'm going to be back to this game, but maybe next October? Maybe I can squeeze an episode in before then, but I guess we'll see. Regardless though, for now, I guess I'll see you all in the next video. See ya!